The unemployment lines will begin getting crowded on Friday as Elon Musk takes over Twitter. Nonetheless, angry Twitter employees felt that they could make demands and threats to a man worth over $260 billion. This is going to be fun to watch it play out. Let's get into it. Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name's Rich, and in this episode of RPW Media, we're going to be discussing Twitter employees thought that they could threaten Elon Musk, their new boss, with a letter of demands before he even takes over the company. According to sources, Musk plans on reducing the payroll by 75%. And from what I've seen, they're not happy about it. There will be a lot of snowflakes left out in the cold. My guess is that the 5,500 employees who will soon be jobless worked on censoring conservative content. Since Twitter will now allow free speech, they're no longer essential employees or even necessary. Now, I wouldn't keep the overwhelming majority of these employees at Twitter because leftists are known to sabotage any organization that they disagree with. I mean, we learned that from how practically the entire federal government behaved when Trump got elected. Just imagine all the leaks that would come out of Twitter employee pool by the saboteurs, right? So the original purge could be up to 5,500 employees, but don't expect it to end there. Twitter never really hired conservatives, and so some of the people that will escape the axe now will try to muck things up. We know this. Now, these people will be terminated, but they will be replaced undoubtedly by people who cherish free speech, because that's what Musk wants to do. He wants to bring free speech back. And I suspect that after a few of the firings, the rest will either fall in line or they'll seek employment at MSNBC, CNN, the New York Times, or the Washington Post. One of those. So their idiotic demand letter, it spelled out 4 core demands. Okay, so there's respect. We demand leadership to respect the platform and the workers who maintain it by committing to preserving the current headcount. So they're saying that the new owner does not have the right to let people go. Safety. We demand that leadership does not discriminate against workers on the basis of their race, gender, disability, sexual orientation. Look, these things are normal law. You can't discriminate against people for these things, okay? But they say we also demand safety for workers on visas who will be forced to leave the country they work in if they are laid off. That's not a concern of the new owner. I mean, these people knew what they were getting into when they came here on work visas. And it has protection. We demand Elon Musk explicitly commit to preserve our benefits, those both listed in the merger agreement and not, example, remote work. He doesn't have, look, they're saying that because I believe it was at Tesla or SpaceX, one of the two, where Musk said, you know, the pandemic's over, you must come to work. Okay, we demand leadership to establish and ensure fair severance policies for all workers before and after any change in ownership. I think the people who ran the committee to write this letter are going to be the first ones to go. I mean, what do you think, folks? Okay, so then they said, dignity. We demand transparent, prompt, and thoughtful communication around our working conditions. We demand to be treated with dignity. Okay. Like they're not going to be. And to not be treated as mere pawns in a game played by billionaires. Yeah, they need to read Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. And if you think that's not crazy enough, the letter continues, quote, a threat of this magnitude is reckless, undermines our users and customers' trust in our platform, and is a transparent act of worker intimidation. A threat to workers at Twitter is a threat to Twitter's future. Now, I think these employees who like to censor free speech are a threat to Twitter's future. It continues. These threats have an impact on us as workers and demonstrate a fundamental disconnect with the realities of operating Twitter. They threaten our livelihoods, access to essential health care, and the ability for visa holders to stay in the country they work in. We cannot do our work in an environment of constant harassment and threats. Constant harassment and threats. The guy hasn't even started yet. And they're saying that he's threatening people. Without our work, there is no Twitter. No, without your work, there is a Twitter under the new management. Sorry. You have to think of the balls of these people to speak this way to the new guy that's taken over. I mean, think about it. They're making demands for their jobs. They're making demands for foreign workers. Oh my God, this is hilarious if you think about it. Who the hell would do something like that, right? So there's some good news and bad news for Musk in the end of all this. The bad news is that Twitter relies on advertising for cash flow. And with that whole bot problem that Twitter tried to hide from him and the rest of the world with the fake accounts, the good news is that by allowing conservative content, he will see a huge increase in those advertising dollars. You see, with the bots the way they were, all those millions and millions of fake accounts, he was worried about, how do I charge advertisers money per the number of people that are on here, the account number, when millions of them are fake. But from what I understand is that early on, Musk said that he's going to get rid of advertising and he's going to turn the platform into a subscription-based business. Now, I'm going to leave the link to this story down in the description. Please visit rpwmedia.com to read all of our stories. So that's it. Thanks for being here. We will see you in the next one.
Yeah.